It really is amazing what can become popular on the internet, especially on YouTube. We've seen many seemingly mundane videos and pictures go on to become memes and even start viral trends. And many of these memes have gone on to create entire followings of their own, for better or worse. But one thing that makes all of them different is which side of the internet they come from. I've seen some pretty weird trends online over the years, but there's one in particular that is a complete anomaly of its own.
Klasky Csupo.
The Klasky Csupo logo. This seemingly innocent and mundane television logo has somehow spawned an entire category of YouTube videos and even led to the logo itself becoming a character, and I'm gonna find out why this happened in today's video. So join me as I take a deep dive into the bizarre Klasky Csupo logo rabbit hole.
Jed, are you? Side.
And now for our feature presentation.
The name Klasky Csupo might not ring a bell to some of you, but if you watched Nickelodeon throughout the 90s and the 2000s, you've likely seen some of their shows. Klasky Csupo is an animation company that has existed since 1982. They were responsible for some of Nickelodeon's most popular cartoons, like Rugrats, Rocket Power, The Wild Thornberrys, All Grown Up, and As Told by Ginger. They also animated some non-Nickelodeon shows like Duckman, the first few seasons of The Simpsons, and that one Ronald McDonald cartoon. There was also that one Rugrats reboot from 2021 that I am just gonna forget existed. You can easily identify their art style in most of their cartoons as they all look similar, but the impact that they've left on Nickelodeon was huge. Klasky Csupo created shows that people still remember decades after they ended. Even I grew up with their cartoons. However, one thing that people likely remember the most from Klasky Csupo was the company's logo. Not just the standard logo itself, but the version that appeared during the end credits of their cartoons. In the early 90s, Klasky Csupo had a very simple logo sequence that wasn't as memorable, but was nice in itself. However, things completely changed in 1998. That year, viewers would be greeted with a brand new logo that usually led to one of two reactions: extreme intrigue or fear. The logo featured some kind of cobbled together creature with a face saying the company's name in a robot voice while on a trippy background.
Klasky Csupo.
There were a few different variants of this logo throughout the years until 2003 when the logo was changed again. This time it featured a rooster waking everyone up. This one wasn't nearly as memorable as the previous logo, but surprisingly in 2021, Klasky Csupo brought the robot logo back. This was done for the Rugrats reboot. While the logo was strange and rather off-putting, it didn't really seem to stir up any negative reactions at the time. Keywords at the time. Things would change as the internet continued to grow, however. A few years later, in 2005, YouTube was created. I don't think I need to explain this site to you guys. But it got very popular and you're literally watching this video on it. Some of the earliest videos featuring the logo go back to at least the late 2000s. After the original logo was posted to YouTube, a certain trend started. These came in the form of logo effects videos. What these videos are essentially heavily edited or distorted versions of logos. Very similar to what you'd see in a YTP video. Only difference is that logo effect videos aren't meant to be funny usually. In fact, I have no idea what the goal of these videos are. I know why these videos exist, but I'll get to that later. Now, from the description I've just given, this doesn't really sound like something that would become popular on the internet, right? Well, I guess I'm wrong in that regard, because these simple videos started popping up across YouTube by the dozen from many different channels. And with that came an entire cult following around these types of videos. And why did this happen? Because a large portion of the fans came from something called the logo community. I can't believe I'm actually explaining this. The logo community is based around logos, if it wasn't already obvious. It's a large fan base of people documenting logos, making variants of logos, making their own logos, and go animate. You probably already know where this is going. This often leads to some pretty interesting videos posted on YouTube. Interesting is the nicest way I can describe this. They usually focus on logos from television companies, but sometimes other things are included too. And outside of YouTube, you'll also find them hanging out on sites like fandom wikis and especially DeviantArt. But above everything else, the Klasky Csupo logo is possibly the one that everyone uploads the most. It's gotten to the point where I'd say they actually worship this thing. It's actually kind of insane. If you look up the Klasky Csupo logo on Google Images, you will be flooded with edits and remakes of the same logo over and over again. Legitimately, I don't understand this fascination with this logo at all. Or do I? Long story short, it's autism. I don't mean that as a joke either, that's literally what it is. People, presumably children, are fixated on this logo, and other logos alike, which is where the community comes from. You can find other fixations like this on the internet as well, like the Object Show community, the Pooh's Adventure community, the Sonic community, and just about anything on DeviantArt nowadays. I know this because I too was interested in logos as a child. Luckily for me, it was only a phase. A very stupid phase. Anyways, all that aside, there's even more to this story. Let's take a look at one of the main controversies surrounding this logo. It's not really a controversy, but let's see it anyways. The SpongeBob error. So, a very long time ago, users on the internet reported that the Klasky Csupo logo was erroneously placed in the SpongeBob SquarePants end credits, where the United Plankton Pictures logo would normally be. The most well-known example of this was on the episodes Wet Painters and the Krusty Krab training video. Apparently this was seen on every airing of this episode until 2006 when Nickelodeon finally corrected the issue. This wouldn't be the last time Nickelodeon made this mistake either. During airings of Hey Arnold on Nicksplat in the mid-2010s, the Klasky Csupo logo would also appear in the credits instead of the original one. I'm not really sure if the SpongeBob error was real, as I've never seen it in person. I don't know if it's made its way into any home media releases of the episode either, but I do know that the Hey Arnold error was real, as I saw it in real time. People have discussed this error online for years, and I'm surprised it even got mentioned in the first place. People really are dedicated to the strangest things. So, with all this fanfare and attention given to the logo, you'd think that Klasky Csupo themselves would eventually become aware of their newfound popularity among the logo community. And they were. At some point, they caught on to the flood of fans that glorified their logo, and so they wanted to give back. In 2015, it was announced that the Klasky Csupo mascot, now known as RoboSplat, was going to get an online web series, and a dedicated Facebook page was created for this character. And for the first time since the logo's debut, we finally hear Splat speak.
I'm not a robot, I'm a Splat. In fact, that's my name, S-P-L-A-A-T.
Yes, they chose Beast Boy. Splat was now complete with an entire family and character lore. Literally everything the fanbase could have asked for. Klasky Csupo saw the following they gathered and gladly played into the hype. The web series would eventually begin, and the rest is history. It's honestly crazy how the company was able to make something out of such an innocuous logo, but all the fanfare and intrigue surrounding the logo finally paid off. In a way, it was kinda cool to see that Klasky Csupo themselves were in on it. I always find it fun when companies play into memes or social media trends that revolve around them. Splat is still remembered fondly on the internet to this day, and people continue to upload edits of that silly logo in 2025. It just goes to show that no matter how random or unimportant something might be, there's always an audience that can't get enough of it. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for future content.